Hello, today I'm going to go over some of the progress on our new app we're building. It's a little mobile game. We've been working on some of the UI and inventory system. Right now we have this placeholder login screen. The login button will lock it as soon as someone presses it so that you can't try to log in multiple times until we either get a successful login back or a failed login. Now it's more of a placeholder state right now, so when you press login it just kind of auto succeeds and takes us into the game. You can see our simple little UI. If I bring up the console, see most of the buttons don't actually do anything yet. They'll just fire back little debug logs that the button was pressed. This is meant to be like a portrait button, so it'll bring up like some info about the character later. But there are some inventory buttons working. We have been working on the inventory system a little bit. So these two buttons here will open up different inventory pages. We have like a seed pouch and our main inventory pouch here. It's just full of these placeholder potatoes and an apple and some corn. So you can see our UI does allow us to have multiple items in one stack, but these potatoes are just so we can see what happens when we have more items than fit on the screen. You can see we'll be able to scroll. And then it is touchscreen, so it is designed for mobile. And then now these two boxes over here, the orange one represents something that could just be like a container in the game world. So when we press on it there, they'll open it up and you can see what's in it. Let's close these. So yeah, again, another little placeholder item in there. I do like that we have whatever inventory page opens up, it'll open up from the location of wherever we pressed. And then another thing I like that's working so far is our main player inventory here. This blue box also represents our player inventory, so you can see we can also click on it and the inventory will go back into the blue box instead of just our main UI box. Whichever one we press is the one that it'll use. So our inventory pages can be bound to more than just the UI. The game world can share inventory objects. Our different inventory pages all inherit from the same container prefab. They're just prefab variants, so we can change the layout. And then the inventory data itself exists as scriptable objects. So we have our different our inventories that'll store what's actually in each different container, and that's how we're able to see the player inventory depending on the different button that we press, whether we click on the actual inventory box in the game world or the UI. They're both showing the same player inventory scriptable object. And then to display each of the inventory items themselves, if I open up the inventory again, we have a small little prefab here. Go to scene. And then yeah, each inventory item just populates an instance of this prefab with what the item is, the sprite for the item, and how many are in the stack. Then the container itself, it'll actually create an object pool of in the content area here. And even though it says amount 1000 here, this amount actually gets changed depending on the max items of the inventory it's displaying. So in code, this number will actually get set when you open up a new container. And then if I go to the inventory objects again, you'll see we have a size here. Actually, it's the max slots here. We have the max slots. It uses this max slots number to determine the size of the object pool, and then it'll just have a slot hidden inactive for every possible item in the inventory ready to go when it makes the display objects. In addition to the inventory work and that other UI, we also tested out a joystick and pad controller. You can see here. Works pretty good. You can see our guy can run around. We have jump bound to the X button there. But really we decided this controller system doesn't really fit with the vision of the game, so we won't be going with it. If you are interested in getting the code for it, though, we have put the code up online for this little touchpad joystick and button controller. I do think it's a good controller. I just don't think it fits with the more casual layout of the game. Instead of this more direct control, we've decided to go with that nav mesh agent where you just press somewhere on the touchscreen, because it is going to be a mobile game, and the little dude will run right over there. That's going to be it for this update, and we'll catch you all next time. Have a good one.